Stephen James is chairman of the Folkestone and Hythe Conservative Association. Ed Costello is chairman of Grassroots Conservatives. Stephen and Ed, you're both very welcome on NewsHour. Stephen, what are you hoping will be the result? What do you expect to be the result?
Thanks for having me on this evening, first of all. And I expect the Prime Minister will secure enough votes to be able to continue leading the country and continue leading our party.
And are you happy about that?
Yeah, I think so. I think, on balance, looking at his CV, yeah, there are things that he's not done so well. But on balance, I think the big cause he's got absolutely right. You're looking at what he's done with Ukraine, the vaccine rollout, and making sure that we were unlocked as quickly as possible through COVID.
Ed, it's a horrible question, given that all we need to do is wait 10 minutes. But what do you expect the result to be? I mean, how convincing a victory, if a victory it is going to be for Boris Johnson, are you predicting, and what are you hoping will be the outcome?
Well, I hope that... I wish that there wouldn't have been an election at all, but having said that, a vote tonight rather, but I expect the Prime Minister to win with a fair number of votes. I don't expect him to walk it, but I do expect him to have a substantial majority.
And in terms, what's your preferred outcome? In terms of, just do you think he should carry on being Prime Minister?
Well, I think that put it this way, I don't believe that we can go into the next election and win with him at the helm, sadly, because I agree with my colleague, his big things have been good. It's the little things that have let him down continuously.
And Stephen, one of the criticisms, or perhaps the overriding criticism of Boris Johnson, and including from his critics within the party, is that their issue is the man. And he is not a man who, at his age and with his political experience, who's going to change. His foibles, which some people had previously seen as charming, are now working against him and working against the party.
Yeah, I hear that, and but I also think that's something that was kind of calculated in by Conservative Party members when they elected him as leader. That they know the man, they know he's a bit of a buccaneer, they know he's a bit of a cad and a bounder.
Well, they didn't know that he was going to break the law.
They didn't, but also what they were looking at is somebody who was going to be, getting things done, and that's what they like about him. They like that he's unconventional, shall I say.
Ed, you're chairman of the organisation Grassroots Conservatives, and one of the arguments that we've been hearing from Boris Johnson's supporters today is that if he wins, even if it's by a relatively small amount, that should be it. People should just now shut up and let him get on with the job. Do you think that your fellow members of Grassroots Conservatives will heed that?
Well, the problem is that if he wins, whatever he does, whether he wins well or badly, it's not going to go away. The media, the left wing, and the other parties are really anxious to bring him down. Well, that's politics, but this is not going to go away. People are going to constantly stir away at the wound. So it's very difficult. It takes the public's mind off what really matters, which are all the big issues: inflation and taxation and Ukraine war and so on and so forth. So he's wounded and will stay wounded. That's my worry and concern.
Stephen, if he were to stay wounded, would your advice be, even though you would rather that he stay, would your advice be for him to cauterise the wounds and to offer his resignation?
Yeah. Look, I think this is a good shot across the bows for him, and hopefully it'll really focus his mind on making sure that he's putting together really strong conservative policies going forward. There's been plenty of criticism that some of the policies going forward at the moment are, a little bit not conservative, shall we say? So, I think if he was to come out fighting, put down some real solid conservative policies like lowering taxes, reducing red tape, making sure that we are positioned to be one of the strongest countries in Europe, then I think he'll answer a lot of his critics with actions.
Stephen James, Ed Costello, really grateful to you both for your time. Stephen James is chairman of Folkestone and Hythe Conservative Association. Stephen, last time we spoke, you were saying that you confidently expected the Prime Minister to win and you hoped that would be the end of it. He has been damaged by this, though, hasn't he? More than 40% of the parliamentary party voting against him?
Yeah, I think he has been damaged by this, but like I said earlier in the programme, I really do hope this is an opportunity that he's going to take to just focus himself, refocus his agenda onto a truly conservative agenda, and bring those MPs, those ones who've not put their faith in him, bring them along with him, change their minds. This is the challenge for him now, and I really hope he steps up to the mark and takes it.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't seriously believe that all 148 MPs voted against him because of sort of policy issues. I mean, most of them voted against him because they felt that he has been less than honest.
I mean, I don't think you can make that assumption on why they've.
Well, many of them have said it.
Many of them have, but not all of them. And so what I'm saying is, you really need to also kind of listen to the kind of background noise as well that's going on, not just amongst the parliamentarians, but amongst the party and the wider party. And I'm telling you now that down on the ground, amongst the grassroots, there is support for Boris. And things like this have just solidified that support. People are digging in their support of the Prime Minister. And what we're going to end up with now is, if this continues to trundle on, is we're going to end up with a civil war which will do nothing but destroy our party.
Stephen, I could speak to you more, but I'm afraid we're drawing to the end of the programme, so I will let you go. But thank you for joining us